Good day, everyone. Our topic today is all about compensating balance and short-term financing. So, lesson objectives. Define compensating balance and its purpose. Differentiate between account-related and loan-related compensating balances. Compute required loan amounts with compensating balances. Compare different methods of interest charging and identify alternative financing option, bankers' acceptance, commercial papers, receivable, and
What is compensating balance? A compensating balance is the minimum amount of money that banks require us to keep in our account. The purpose of this is to help the bank cover costs, make sure the loan is safe, and sometimes increase the interest they earn. Compensating balance account holders account. There are two types of compensating balance. Firstly, in the account holder's account, this is not loan related but it's connected to account services like auto debit, transfer, or higher maintaining balance. Second, in bank credits, this is loan related. For example, if you borrow 500,000, the bank may require you to keep 50,000 as compensating balance. Compensating balance bank credits. We can compute the amount to borrow using the formula. Amount needed divided by 1 minus C. The C is compensating balance rate. For example, if I need 250,000 and the rate is 20%, I actually need to borrow 312,500 because 62,500 will stay as compensating balance. In short, compensating balance is money we cannot touch because it serves as a requirement of the bank to make sure they are safe and still earn while lending us money.
interest rate. Ang interest rate ay ang halagang sinisingil sa isang kumpanya na humihiram ng pera para sa paggamit ng pondo ng bangko. Ang mga interest rate sa mga short-term loans ay nag-iiba depende sa halaga ng pautang, tindi ng kompetisyon sa pagitan ng mga bangko, kakayahang pinansyal ng kumpanya, dahilan ng paghihiram. Ang mga interest rate na sinisingil sa mga valued clients ay karaniwang mas mababa kaysa sa mga sinisingil sa mga kliyente na hindi pa nakakapagtatag ng magandang relasyon sa bangko. Nag-iiba rin ang interest rate sa mga bansa na hindi pa matatag sa politika at ekonomiya. Ang karaniwang basehan para sa pag-compute ng interest rate ay ang prime rate. Ang prime rate ay ang pinakamababang interest rate na sinisingil ng bangko at ino-offer lamang sa mga most valued clients nito. Sa pagsingil sa ibang mga kliyente, dinadagdag ang isang karagdagang spread sa ibabaw ng prime rate bilang premium para sa pagkuha ng panganib sa pagpapahiram sa kanila. Minsan, ginagamit ng mga local banks ang Treasury Bill Rate, London Interbank Offered Rate or LIBOR, o Singapore Interbank Offered Rate o SIBOR, kasama ang isang tiyak na spread, sa halip na ang prime rate bilang basihan para sa pagsingil ng interest. Ang interest rate na sinisingil sa mga kliyente ay depende rin sa kung ito ay fixed interest rate o floating interest rate. Ang fixed interest rate ay nangangahulugan na ang rate na sinisingil ay constant o hindi nagbabago anuman ang mga pagbabago sa prime interest rate. Ang floating interest rate sa kabilang banda ay isang rate na sinisingil sa isang loan na nag-a-adjust o nagbabago habang nagbabago ang prime rate. Methods of interest charging. So there are two methods of interest charging. First is add-on interest. The interest is computed based on the outstanding loan balance, and whatever interest computed is added to the principal payment. Example, assume a loan of 150,000 that has an add-on interest of 12% for 90 days. Compute for the interest due and the total payment required on the 90th day. Use the 360 days in a year. So the formula is interest is equals to principal times rate times time. So the principal is 150,000 times 12% times 90 over 360 equals 4,500. So on the maturity date, the total payment will be principal plus interest. So 150,000 plus 4,500 is equals 154,500. So the payment on the face value of the loan is increased by the amount of the interest. Next, in methods of interest charging is discounted interest. Interest is deducted in advance, so the borrower gets less than the loan's face value, making the effective interest rate higher. So example, assume a loan of 150,000 with a discount rate of 12% for 90 days. Compute for the interest and discounted amount of the loan using 360 days in a year. How much should be paid on the 90th day? So, ang formula is interest is equals to principal times rate times time. So, 150,000 times 12% times 90 over 360 is equals to 4,500. The discounted amount is principal less interest. So, 150,000 less 4,500 is equals to 145,500. So, before pa ma-receive ni borrower ang 150,000, na less na yung 4,500 doon na discount interest. So, imbis na 150,000 na kanyang ma-receive, which is, ang ma-receive niya na lang is 145,500. Pero ang babayaran ni borrower is 150,000 pa din. Cost of commercial bank financing. The cost of commercial bank financing is measured in terms of the effective interest rate. This is the actual rate charged by banks or other lending institutions on the borrower. The effective interest rate is computed using the following variables: the interest amount, interest rate, days loan outstanding, methods of interest charge, and type of loan. Effective rate on add-on interest. Ang pagkuha ng effective rate sa isang add-on interest ay ang pinakapangunahing paraan sa pag-compute ng mga pautang at pagsingil ng interest. Ito ay simple lamang dahil ang isang pautang na may interest na 15,000 kada taon sa isang 150,000 na pautang sa loob ng isang taon ay magkakaroon ng effective rate na 10%. Gayunpaman, ito ay totoo lamang kung ang pautang ay para sa isang taon. Paano kung ang 15,000 na interest ay para sa isang 90 days lang na pautang? Ano ang magiging effective rate nito? So in this case, the formula will be effective rate is equals to interest over principal times days in a year over days loan in outstanding. So, 15,000, which is the interest, divided by 150,000, the principal amount, times 360 days, divided by 90 days loan in outstanding, which is given sa taas. So, is equals the effective rate of 15,000 na interest in 90 days na loan is 40%. Effective rate on discounted interest. Kung ang discounted loan ay gagamitin sa paggawa ng effective interest rate, ang formula na ginamit sa effective interest rate on add-on interest ay maaari pa rin gamitin maliban na ang interest ay ibabawas kaagad mula sa principal amount. So using the same example sa add-on interest, the effective interest rate would be effective rate is equals to interest over principal minus interest times days in a year over days loan is outstanding. So 15,000, which is the interest, over 150,000, which is the principal amount, less 15,000, which is interest. Kasi sabi kanina, ibabawas agad ang interest sa principal amount. So, 15,000 divided by 150,000 minus 15,000 times 360 days in a year divided by 90. So, the effective rate will be 44.44%.
Effective rate with compensating balance. Compensating balance means the borrower must keep a certain percentage of the loan in the bank without using it. Since the borrower can't use the full loan, the real cost of borrowing is higher. As previously mentioned, the formula to compute for the loan to be borrowed is the amount needed. The same concept will be applied in this case, except that the numerator this time is the interest rate. For example, assume that a company is charged 9% on its loan for 1 year, with a compensating balance of 15%. What is the effective rate with a compensating balance? The formula is effective rate equals interest rate over 1 minus compensating balance. Since ang iyang interest rate is 9%, then ang iyang compensating balance is 15%. The 0.09 over 1 minus 0.15, 1 minus 0.15 equals 0.85. 0.09 divide 0.85 equals 0.1059 or 10.59%. Since may another way kung papaano i-compute yung effective rate with compensating balance, the another formula is effective rate equals interest over principal minus compensating balance times days in a year over days loan is outstanding. For example, Connelly Corporation is paying 100 pesos interest for 120 days on a 1,000 loan with a compensating balance of 10%. How much is the effective rate? So, using the formula, ang iyang interest is 100 pesos. Ang iyang principal kay 1,000 pesos. Kaning 100 is mao ni siya ang 10% compensating balance sa iyang loan na 1,000 pesos. So, 100 pesos over 1,000 pesos minus 100 pesos equals 100 over 900 times 360 divide 120 equals 3. So, 100 divide 900 equals 0.111 times 3 equals 0.333 or 33.33%. Next is effective rate on installment loan. Installment loan is when you repay the loan is in series of payment, like monthly installment. Bank usually charge interest on an add-on basis. To compute for the effective interest rate, the formula is 2 times annual number of payments times interest over total number of payments plus 1 times principal. For example, Concon borrowed 15,000 on a 12-month installment basis. The interest rate charged by the lending institution is 12% per annum. Thus, the interest will be 1,800 for 1 year. Since this is an add-on interest, then the total payment will have a face value of 16,800. Ganun na 16,800 siya kay ang interest na 1,800 gi-add sa principal nimo nga 15,000. 16,800 for 1 year with a monthly payment for 1,400. So, 16,800 divide 12 months equals 1,400. A 1,400 payment per month inclusive for interest and principal, and without actually using the 15,000 for 1 year gives an approximate outstanding loan balance of only 7,500. Thus, the effective interest rate will be, so using the formula, ang iyang annual number of payment kay 12. Then ang iyang interest is 1,800. Ang iyang total number of payment is 12 plus 1 equals 13. Ang iyang principal is 15,000. So, 2 times 12 equals 24 times 1,800 equals 43,200. So, 13 times 15,000 equals 195,000. 43,200 divide 195,000 equals 0.2215 or 22.15%. Next is banker's acceptance. Banker's acceptance is a short-term, low-risk financial instrument used in international trade. The importer's bank guarantees payment to the exporter through a letter of credit. Once the bank accepts the draft or a promise to pay, it becomes a banker's acceptance. This assures the exporter that they will get paid. Later, the importer pays the bank with the loan amount plus fees. Next is commercial finance company loans. If a company can't get credit from banks, it can borrow from commercial finance companies. These loans usually have higher interest rate than banks. The borrower often has to pledge collateral like receivables, inventory, or property. Next is commercial papers. Commercial papers are short-term unsecured promissory notes issued by financially strong companies with good credit rating. They usually mature in 1 to 9 months and are sold at a discount. Since they don't require compensating balances, they provide cheaper financing than bank loans. Investors like them because they often pay more than government securities, though they don't create close borrower-lender relationship like banks do. Ang example is Conan Corporation, having a high credit rating, is given an opportunity to issue a commercial paper worth 100,000 at 15% for 120 days. The funds obtained from the issuance will be needed for 90 days only. The excess funds on hand can be invested in securities with a rate of return equivalent to 12%. The brokerage fee of the marketable security transaction is 2%. What is the cost issuing the commercial papers? So, interest expense niya kay since ang iyang principal is 100,000, ang iyang rate is 0.15 or 15%, then ang iyang time or ang days is 120. So, 100,000 times 0.15 times 120 over 360 equals 5,000. Then, add brokerage fee. Since ang iyang brokerage fee kay 2%, so 100,000 times 0.02 equals 2,000. The total cost is 7,000. Less return on marketable securities. Since ang iyang principal is 100,000 times ang iyang rate of return equivalent to 12% or 0.12. Since ang kailangan lang man sa issuance is only 90 days. So 120 days minus 90 days ang nabili na lang, ang kailangan niya i-return is 30 days na funds ba. So 100,000 times 0.12 times 30 divide 360 equals 1,000. I-less nimo sa total cost na 7,000, ang net cost is 6,000.
So, receivable financing. So, during an economic slump, ang companies usahay maglisod og kuha sa ilang bayad gikan sa customers nga naka-credit. Since kinahanglan pa nila og cash to continue operations, ang uban kay manghiram sa bangko pero kay nagalisod pud ang bangko, nagapangayo sila og collateral, and one of the alternative na gamiton is ang account receivable as a collateral. So, there are 4 common forms of receivable financing: the pledging of account receivable, assignment of account receivable, factoring of account receivable, and discounting of promissory note. So, first, pledging of account receivable. So, pledging means ang company mo offer sa ilang receivable as collateral for loan, pero non-notification basis ni siya. Meaning, dili ipabalo sa customers na ilang utang gi-pledge na. Then, the company still collects from the customers, and kung dili makawait ang customer, ang company ang responsible to pay the loan. So, murag giprinda lang ang receivable pero wala transfer of ownership. So next, assignment of account receivable. So assignment is almost parehas lang sa pledging, pero mas formal ni siya. The company called assignor assigns a receivable to the lender called assignee through a security agreement. Pero pwede siya notification or non-notification basis. The lender give a certain percent sa value sa receivable as cash advance, pero na charges like commission og interest. Again, kung kulang ang makolekta, ang company gihapon ang mubayad. So, example of assignment of account receivable. ACD Company assigned 500,000 of its accounts receivable to RCBC under a notification arrangement. RCBC loaned 80% less 4% service charge and 3% commission on the gross amount assigned. ACD signed promissory note that provides for 12% interest on the advances. The assignee made a collection of 300,000 pesos. The final payment will take place after 6 months. What is the amount to be received by the assignor? So first, you need to compute the advances. 80% times 500,000 is equal to 400,000. Next, compute service charge, which is 4% times 500,000 is equal to 20,000 pesos. Next, compute commission, which is 3% times 500,000 is equal to 500,000. So the cash to the company today equals advance minus charges is equal to 400,000 minus 20,000 plus 15,000 is equal to 365,000. So factoring. Factoring, you sell the account receivable to a finance company called a factor. Without recourse, the factor takes the full risk of non-payment. With recourse, you may need to buy back bad accounts. The factor takes a commission, gives you a cash advance, a percent of account receivable, and charges interest on the advance until the customers pay. For example, Sarah General Merchandise factor its receivable amounting to 500,000 with 5% commission to the FLT Financing Corporation. An interest rate of 2.5% per month is charged on the 90% of the accounts receivable advanced by the financing company. How much is the total cost of the factoring? It should be noted that the commission is computed based on the entire amount of the receivable of 500,000 while the interest is charged on the cash advance by the financing corporation amounting to 450,000. So to compute commission, 500,000 times 0.5 is equal to 25,000. Add interest expense, 500,000 times 0.90 times 0.025 is equal to 11,250. So the total cost is 36,250.
Promissory note is a written promise to pay a specific amount of money to a person or entity at a certain date or on demand. Important features of promissory note: face value, the amount of loan that the issuer promises to pay to the holder at maturity. Date of note refers to the date on which a promissory note is issued. Maturity date, it refers to the date of payment as agreed by the borrower and the lender. Interest rate is the proportion of a loan that is charged as interest to the borrower. Creditor is the one who accepts the promissory note and to whom payment will be made. Debtor, it identifies the borrower who assigned the promissory note. Solving for discounting of promissory note. Example: Hart Corporation has note for 250,000 dated on January 1, 2012. The note is due in 120 days with interest at 9%. If Hart Corporation sells the note on March 31, 2012 to RCBC Capital charging a discounted rate of 5%, how much is the net proceed of the promissory note? To solve for maturity value, the formula is maturity value equals face value times interest rate times time divided by 360. So 250,000 equals to 250,000 times 9% times 120 days divided by 360 days equals 250,000 plus 7,500 is equals to 257,500, the maturity value. To solve for the discount is 257,500 pesos or the maturity value times 5% times 30 divide 360 is equals to 1,072.92. The 30 in 30 divided 360 days is the remaining time from March 31, 2012 until the note is due. Since the note was dated on January 1, 2012 and due in 120 days, it matures on April 30, 2012. So from March 31 to April 30 is equals to 30 days. To solve for proceed is maturity value minus discounts. The maturity value is 257,500 minus to the discount of 1,072.92. Therefore, the net proceed of promissory note is 256,427.8 pesos. Inventory financing is a specific form of asset lending where a company's inventory, like their raw materials or finished goods, serves as collateral for a loan of a credit. Summary: a compensating balance is a minimum bank deposit that raises borrowing costs. Banks use various interest methods like add-on, discounted, or installment. For short-term financing, companies can use bankers' acceptance, commercial finance loans, commercial papers, receivable financing, or inventory financing to ensure their funds based on their needs and financial strength.